We have a lot of news for you today. A prominent Loyola coach was just fired. The university comments on the graduate students' call for a union.
We share plenty of activities for how graduates can celebrate their final days at Loyola and how animals can improve your mood.
From the Convergence Studio in the School of Communication, this is Loyola News Chicago.
Hello and welcome to Loyola News Chicago. I'm Casey Frink.
And I'm Chloe Johnson. We start with breaking news from Loyola Sports. Another Loyola sports coach was just fired, just weeks after the firing of women's basketball coach Kate Ochter. Men's volleyball coach Mark Holst is the latest coach to go. Loyola Athletics announced this afternoon that his contract will not be renewed. Holst has led the team for 7 seasons, leading the Ramblers to 120 wins and 61 losses. He signed on as head coach for the 2016 season after serving as assistant coach for 4 years. During that time, the Ramblers won 2 NCAA national championships and 3 NEVA championships. The Ramblers went 18-9 this season and ended the season ranked number 11 in the country. Their season came to an end after they fell to Purdue Fort Wayne in the second round of the NEVA tournament last week.
We have an update to last week's story about the Graduate Student Union. They have been trying to get Loyola to recognize them as a union. University spokesperson Anna Rosnich responded to our request for comment. The university's statement said, in part, "We respect our graduate assistants and believe it is incumbent upon us to provide a socially just academic environment for them by listening and working together to create a rewarding and teaching and research environment. Loyola remains committed to evaluating the support the university provides graduate assistants and to making improvements where necessary." The statement also said Loyola does not see graduate student workers as employees under the definition of the National Labor Relations Act. UIC has the only recognized graduate student union in Chicago, and they announced on Tuesday that they reached an agreement to earn over $24,000 a year by the end of their contract and $2,000 in retro pay for this year.
In response to the ongoing gas price surge on Wednesday, the city of Chicago announced a prepaid gas and mass transit card lottery with monthly drawings throughout the summer. As the gas problem continues, many local drivers have had to cut back or charge their habits. While there seem to be fewer cars at the pumps, some drivers have been looking for ways to fill up for less. While gas is typically cheaper in the suburbs, drivers are now seeing wildly different gas prices within the same neighborhood. Those able to shop and drive around can save a lot on their next tank of gas. Others have simply embraced the price rise at their closest station, hoping the price rise will be short-lived. The future of gas prices is uncertain, but Chicago commuters can now apply for some free transit relief. The Chicago Moves program will give away 50,000 prepaid $150 gas cards and 100,000 prepaid $50 transit cards. Residents who apply for gas cards must have current and valid city stickers. The rest of the prepaid cards will be released via lottery system. This program runs from May through September.
Living off campus is hard for students. Luckily, there is a Loyola club that supports this group of commuter students. Located on the second floor of Damen, students can take breaks or even say hello to a friendly face in the Commuter Life office. Loyola University Chicago's Commuter Life supports the culture of students living off campus by offering activities. In the Commuter Life office, students can also take part in Cup of Joe Tuesdays, where coffee and morning treats are served.
Every morning I wake up trying to determine whether I have to take the train or get on a shuttle or even take the bus. Sometimes if the train's down, I have to decide if I have to Uber. So there's a lot of different avenues to get to school, obviously, but it is a bigger thought process.
Students can make new friends and feel supported through Commuter Life activities. Commuter Life continues to support students' connections so they feel at home on campus. The Halas Recreation Center, located in Damen, has been making some changes. With the influence of social media, Halas is geared up to provide new activities. The center hosts intramural sports, climbing lessons, and the gym facility. New equipment has been added to the downstairs weightlifting rooms, and new classes are being added to the gym to help beginners learn to weightlift. Director of the Halas facility, Carlson, is working to encourage all students to join no matter where they are in their journey.
We welcome all, not only of all backgrounds, identities, but also of experience levels, both with fitness, sports, all of our other programs, and being really like purposeful in the language we use and like really like putting it in our facility on signage.
Carlson hopes students will take advantage of the upcoming fall semester classes and added gym equipment. And Halas urges students to have fun and stay active.
Graduating students can now reserve more tickets for their guests. Each student can get 2 more tickets on the Rambler ticket portal. The only exception is for dual-enrolled students in the College of Arts and Sciences and the Quinlan School of Business. Students must claim their tickets by Wednesday, May 4th. No more tickets will be given to students. Each ceremony will be live streamed on the commencement website. Commencement is upon us, and this year the events include the class of 2020 and 2021. Mary Plankey has more.
For the first time in 3 years, Loyola will be hosting in-person graduation and graduation festivities on campus. This year's festivities include activities for graduates of 2020 and 2021 who missed out on their graduation ceremonies. Students from both classes have mixed feelings.
So I know there's that Friday there's like a boat cruise that I'm definitely going to because it sounds really fancy. And I do know a couple of my friends from the class of 2021 at least are attending, so I won't feel like awkward or anything like that.
So I'm not planning on partaking in it just because I feel like my time as a student has already passed and I'm over it. I don't want to go back and think about it anymore.
The celebration weekend for the class of 2020 and the class of 2021 will take place the weekend before commencement. Mary Plankey, Loyola News Chicago.
Congratulations to all of the graduates from the last 2 years.
It's always sad to say goodbye, but the Office of Student Activities and Greek Affairs is hosting several events to celebrate the graduates. Graduating students can attend their finals breakfast. This event is on May 4th and starts at 7 p.m. in Gentile Arena. SAGA is also hosting the Senior Toast, a Loyola tradition. It's on May 9th starting at 5 p.m. You can pick up tickets for the finals breakfast and Senior Toast at the Damen Student Center. Check LU Community for more details. With graduation just around the corner, seniors are making plans for the future, but with plenty of great reminders from their time as undergrads. However, one bad memory from their college days, likely to stick with seniors for the long run, are student loans. In a normal non-pandemic year, loan payments start 6 months after graduation. StudentAid.gov has a repayment calculator to help students figure out their monthly payment. Students continuing in the fall should apply for scholarships to save themselves a big bill in the future. There are both department-specific and general scholarships for continuing students. The application for continuing student scholarships is open now through June 1st. So there's still plenty of time to get yours in.
Coming up, find out how you can use your artistic skills to show support for Ukraine.
They said I would never become a doctor.
They said my skin was too dark.
I should straighten my hair.
They thought my nose was too big.
They counted me out too many times to count.
Because I fight to be heard, they call me an angry black woman.
My hair was distracting.
I would never start my own business.
I say my skin empowers me. Take it or leave it.
I say don't touch my hair.
I am a black doctor. I own my own practice, and because of this, I'm changing lives every single day. My blackness is empowering. My skin, my hair,
my confidence,
my culture,
my community is empowering.
So believe it.
So believe it.
So believe it.
A new exhibit at a museum in Ukrainian village is starting to catch the eyes of people all over the country. Reporter Cami Baranda spoke with the curator about why the display is so meaningful right now.
The Ukrainian Museum of Modern Art has recently opened an exhibit featuring pieces that show support for Ukraine. The curator of the exhibit, Adrian Kochman, believes the space gives artists a voice and helps bring people in the neighborhood together.
We just felt like we needed to somehow connect with the community and provide a space where people could express themselves about what was going on.
The artwork shown in the exhibit comes from people of all backgrounds. Some pieces were made by local high school students and donated to the museum by their teacher, while other pieces were shipped from out of state or donated by art collectors. The community Ukrainian bank next door even donated printouts of an online group called Art Against War to help protest and spread awareness. The Ukrainian Museum of Modern Art is still accepting work from local artists. Kochman says she's been partnering with other art groups online who are looking to sell and donate their works.
We had partnered with them and Artsy to do an auction that was very successful to send money for refugee aid, humanitarian aid to Ukraine.
The exhibit strives to create a space that brings the community closer through the history of Ukraine and their position in the war.
The purpose of this institution was to promote and also encourage artists to create freely. And in that sense was providing a voice for creatives that couldn't be provided in the Soviet Union. But a lot of us in the community have, like my mother's a World War II refugee. I'm first born in the States. And so all of us have, well, those from Eastern Ukraine, I should say, which was under the Soviet Union at the time, a lot of us have stories, family stories related to that.
The Ukrainian Museum of Modern Art will have the exhibit available to view until June 4. Cami Baranda, Loyola News, Chicago.
Exhibits like these support Ukrainian forces as they continue to fight for their homeland against the Russian army.
The Andersonville neighborhood may be one of Chicago's best kept secrets. Time Out magazine has rated Andersonville the #2 coolest neighborhood in the world, second only to a neighborhood in Copenhagen, Denmark. Reporter Jacqueline Davis takes to the streets of this lively northern neighborhood to find out.
Nestled near Loyola's Lakeshore campus, Andersonville is one of Chicago's most charming neighborhoods. With a population of over 21,000 residents, the laid-back yet lively neighborhood holds Swedish roots, which today can be found through its unique architecture, storefront shops, and cultural museums. Scott Martin owns two local favorites, Svea Restaurant and Simon's Tavern. Martin says Andersonville is Scandinavian through and through, dating all the way back to 1871. A lot has changed in that time, but Martin says that Swedish spirit lives on today.
I think more now it's an energy of what the community had been. Just like other ethnic communities throughout Chicago. It's changed only in the sense that the spirit is still here, but the community has grown.
Named after farmer and landowner John Anderson in the 1850s, the Scandinavian farming community underwent a housing boom in the 1980s. Since then, the neighborhood has prospered, with its local businesses and diverse communities. And although Andersonville isn't always the first neighborhood mentioned in terms of Pride events, it is home to many LGBTQ+ residents, businesses, and events.
There's a huge LGBTQ+ presence here, and those people have really embraced, I think, the Scandinavian experience of being here for everybody who's ever come here, or anybody who might be thought of as different.
Although Martin enjoys the diverse presence in Andersonville, he says it is now rare to find as many Swedish small businesses in the area as there once was, due to mass commercialization in the area. Still, it's residents like Martin that keep the Swedish spirit alive in Andersonville by welcoming new neighbors and sharing in old traditions and recipes.
Svea Restaurant, we feature Swedish pancakes. They're the best in the city. So we do a lot of the traditional foods here. At Simon's, during the holidays, I cook Swedish glögg. It's a very traditional Christmas drink in Sweden.
One can catch Martin around the neighborhood, celebrating his culture the best way he knows how. Jacqueline Davis, Loyola News, Chicago.
Andersonville is also a great place to enjoy the summer.
And with the summer right just around the corner, we have Coco Sharp, who would tell us some upcoming events Andersonville has to offer.
Activities are being selected annually by local shops and restaurants where everyone from near and far is welcome. The majority of Andersonville inhabits Clark Street, where it is also named the second best neighborhood in the world according to Time Out magazine. The neighborhood has two TikTok-worthy attractions such as Brown Elephant and Village Discount for thrift shopping, along with dining options when the weather is warm.
Like the little neighborhood is divine. It's so cute, so many good stores and such nice people. And I ended up actually working there as a hostess one summer. So I spent a lot of time in Andersonville.
Andersonville has been crowned one of the most queer-friendly neighborhoods in Chicago, according to the ChicagoPride.com. Local restaurants such as Collectivo host weekly Sunday drag bingo to attract customers. Other restaurants participate in local activities. More updated information can be found at Andersonville.com.
Andersonville is a 15-minute commute from our Loyola's Lakeshore campus, and next time you visit, you're bound to meet a friendly face and also engage in some summer activities.
And it's kind of a destination for people from other neighborhoods because there's so much going on. And that's really fun to be a part of.
From dining to shopping, Andersonville has a lot to offer at any time of day. People come to admire all that the neighborhood has to offer.
For Loyola News, I'm Coco Sharp.
And Andersonville isn't the only hip neighborhood in our city. Last year, Time Out named Pilsen neighborhood on the south side as one of the coolest places in the world to live.
Mundelein College alumna Teresa Faulkner began campaigning throughout the pandemic, where she faced some heavy challenges.
It was just very brutal in just getting those signatures because, you know, just the trepidity of going door to door, or just, like I said, standing out in the brutal cold.
Electronic canvassing has not been issued in the Midwest. Local candidates are urging states to act in efforts for the higher voter turnout. Andrea Ralia is an advocate for training, research, advocacy, and education network, and support for fairer assessment legislation.
We're behind in the times, even though there's legislation pending in the legislature right now to have petitions circulated electronically.
Faulkner is one of many local candidates whose campaign was impacted by limited voter participation throughout the pandemic. She hopes to represent Chicagoans as another woman of color fighting for change. Electronic canvassing is not a common practice in the Midwest.
We're
In
behind
2020,
in the
an
times,
Ohio
even though
federal judge ruled that state-issue campaigns could collect signatures electronically. During the pandemic, a Michigan LGBT roots group started collecting electronic signatures, but many of their signatures were not counted. In Iowa, electronic voter signatures are accepted for school board issues only. A Missouri constitutional amendment to allow people to sign petitions electronically was not included on the 2018 ballot.
Up next, find out how you can get a furry friend of your own.
Plus, how those friends can help relieve your stress.
The mission of Aaron's Farm is to rescue animals and educate through their stories. Now, we want to reach as many kids as we can through the animal stories, through their friendships, to show that they're like us. Back to when I was a kid, I was obsessed with animals and would have died to be taken to a show like this. Take a look at him. First of all, you'll notice that he's got sharp claws because he's climbing up on me and they're so sharp. I think this farm is different from other educational farms or places around because we're not like a petting zoo. It's a hands-on science class, which you're not getting in a petting zoo type environment. My dream was to work with children and animals, and I was able to make that dream come true. And I want that for all these kids. I want their dreams to come true too.
Aaron's Farm. Rescue. Sanctuary. Advocacy. To find out more about Aaron's Farm and how to schedule a visit, go to aaronsfarm.net or connect on Facebook at Aaron's Farm 1.
Animal shelters around the country are starting to notice that large dogs are not being adopted as often as they used to be. The Anti-Cruelty Society began posting promotions on their website to help get the large dogs out of the shelter quicker. The director of the Adoption Experience Team at the Anti-Cruelty Society, Sarah Hayes, has been trying to find more ways to get their dogs and out of the shelters.
We have a coalition between quite a few local shelters, so we are working with them constantly on plans to promote the big dogs together. And we are working on a campaign locally to promote all our big dogs and come together as a coalition.
The Anti-Cruelty Society is offering a $40 adoption fee for all their dogs over 40 pounds on their website. Make sure to check it out and help give those big pups a new home.
The end of the semester upon us, many students may find themselves needing to take breaks from their study sessions. And yesterday was a perfect time for students to de-stress with dogs. The group Active Minds and Snail put together an activity on the north lawn of the Damen Student Center. It gave students a chance to relax and get some fresh air. While playing with the canines, advisors talked about the prevention and treatment of mental illness, a lesson that's especially important during the stressful time of year. Many students just walked by to pet the pups, while others decided to park and sit with the future service dogs. This event is just one of the activities available to students during the last weeks of the semester. Dogs aren't the only pets helping Loyola de-stress this final season. Reporter Amelia Ickes shows us how other four-legged friends help make college life better.
Some Loyola students are finding stress relief this final season in the form of a furry friend, like my roommate, Ava Pagnucco.
I come home, I play with my bunny, and immediately everything that was bad in the day just out the door. I just get to see a cute little furry animal and I forget everything that's like bad in the world.
Ava is the owner of Rigby, a mini Rex rabbit that she adopted in September. Rigby is one of just many pets owned by college students across the country who turn to their fuzzy friends in times of need. A study from Beyond the Treat found that 90% of college students said that their pet helps them feel less anxious or stressed. But that isn't the only benefit of having a pet in college. 50% of college pet owners said that their pet helps them make friends. Meanwhile, 68% said that they enjoy the extra responsibility having a pet brings into their lives. Despite the benefits of that responsibility, Ava says it's important for students to know what they're signing up for before getting a pet.
Please don't get a pet just because they're cute. Make sure you actually want one and they're actually like a living being that needs love and care and clean hygiene.
Whatever your reason is for getting a pet, make sure you have enough time to take care of it like it deserves. Amelia Ickes, Loyola News, Chicago.
Remember, your pets will be around after you graduate, so be sure you're ready to take care of them for a long time.
Another school year comes to an end, and I think we can all agree with a year like this, summer break is in order. Reporter Robert Malcolmacki visits the Schreiber Center to talk to students about their overall experience of this year.
The end of the semester is coming, and so is the end of the school year. After a school year that's been affected by COVID in every way, we came out and talked to some students about their experience coming back in person.
I was just so excited to be back in person, and I was able to get involved in a lot of things that I wasn't freshman year. So I honestly had a great year because of it, and it just I'm so happy that we were able to be in person this year.
The 2 weeks online at the start was not ideal. Definitely made the semester a little interesting per class because we didn't really start lessons until 2 weeks later. So once we got back in person, it was really good. It just went really quickly after that. But yeah, no, it's pretty much what I expected.
We also asked students about their hopes and expectations for next school year.
I'm hoping to just go back to normal after this. I feel like as long as people who are getting sick are getting tested and all of that kind of stuff and staying away from people, I feel like we can go back to the way that we were.
I think they're going to go no mask across the board, get your booster, call it a day. That's my hope, and that's what I'm expecting. But yeah, no, I think they're going to just kind of stop COVID protocols for the most part.
Although no one can predict for sure what COVID will do or what the university will do, students do remain hopeful that things will somewhat return back to normal next school year. Robert Malcolmacki, Loyola News, Chicago.
University will relax its COVID protocol, but I guess we will just have to wait and see.
The semester is coming to a close and summer will officially start. Because there are minimal COVID-19 restrictions, students are especially excited to have a more normal summer.
I'm excited to explore more around Chicago. I didn't really go out much when I was here over the summer last time, so I'm excited to adventure more.
Probably just get outside, like I said, basketball specifically, just go out to eat in the restaurants, the rooftops, so yeah.
So I just joined the HRSA, so we're going to have to look into trying to develop that further. They were kind of limited with the pandemic, so the hope is that I'm on the board now, so the hope is to change things and make it a little bit more interactive with everybody at school, because the hope is that people know what HRSA is and kind of make HR a better department.
So I'm really excited to spend some time with my friends. I'm a first-year grad student, so I'm going to be graduating next year, and so this is kind of like my last summer at home, so I really wanted to spend time with my friends at home and with my parents before I probably move to the city next summer after I graduate.
Thanks for joining us for our final episode.
We hope you all have a great summer and get your finals done, y'all.